There's a moment that every horse person knows. You walk into the paddock. You have nothing in your hands. No food, no halter, no reason for the horse to come to you. And the horse comes anyway. It walks across the field, straight to you, and stands close. Maybe it rests its head against your shoulder. Maybe it simply breathes near you. And for a moment you wonder, out of everything in this horse's world, out of all the space and the other horses and the freedom of the open field, why did it choose to come here? Why did it choose you? Because here is what most people don't fully understand about horses. A horse cannot be forced to truly bond with you. It can be trained. It can be managed. It can be made to comply. But the moment a horse walks to you of its own free will with nothing to gain, that is a different thing entirely. That is a choice. And understanding why horses make that choice and what it actually means will change everything about how you see your relationship with them. To understand why a horse chooses you, you first need to understand what horses are. Horses are not solitary animals. They're not designed to be alone. In the wild, a horse without a herd is a horse in danger. Their entire survival strategy is built around the group. The herd provides safety, warmth, information, and something that animal behaviorists describe as social regulation. The ability to calm down, to feel secure, to rest deeply, that only comes from being near trusted others. Within the herd, horses form specific preferred partnerships, not just general closeness with all herd members, but specific chosen individuals they seek out, groom, rest beside, and orient to when frightened. Research has shown that mutual grooming between preferred partners reduces heart rate measurably in both horses involved. That's not just comfort. That's a measurable biological event triggered by a specific social choice. Now consider what happens when a horse lives in a domestic environment. The herd may be reduced. The social world narrows. And into that social world, with all of its biological need for connection and partnership, steps you. When a horse chooses you, it is not choosing a human. It is choosing a herd member. And that is not a small thing. Here is something most horse owners don't fully appreciate. Your horse is reading you. Not occasionally, not when it suits them. Constantly. Horses are prey animals. Their survival in the wild depends entirely on their ability to detect threat in their environment, in other animals, and in the emotional state of those around them. A horse's sensory system is designed to pick up the smallest signals of stress, tension, and unpredictability. Research published in the journal Biology Letters found that horses can distinguish between happy and angry human facial expressions in photographs. They use their left eye, the side of the brain that processes emotional information, to read human faces. They detect cortisol, the stress hormone, through scent. They read the tension in your shoulders, the rhythm of your footsteps, the quality of your breathing. And here is the important part. The human who a horse chooses to be close to is almost always the human who brings calm into the horse's world. Not because that person is performing calmness, but because they genuinely feel it in the horse's presence. When you are with your horse and you feel at ease, your horse knows. And when you're the person who consistently brings that feeling, your horse doesn't just tolerate you. It seeks you out. With horses, trust is not given. It is earned. And it is earned differently than with almost any other animal. A horse does not decide to trust you because you want it to. It does not trust you because you bought it or feed it or spend time with it. Horses build trust through a specific and non-negotiable currency. Consistency, predictability, emotional safety. Every interaction you have with a horse is a data point. The horse is constantly gathering information about whether you are reliable, whether your energy is stable, whether you can be trusted when things are uncertain. Research on social referencing in horses has found that when horses encounter something unfamiliar or frightening, they look to trusted humans in the same way young children look to their parents, reading the human's emotional response to calibrate their own. If the human is calm, the horse uses that information to regulate its own fear response. This is not a trained behavior. It is a biological function of trust. When a horse chooses to come to you in an uncertain moment, when it chooses your presence as the place it feels safe, it is telling you that you have passed a test most people don't even know they are taking. You became consistent. You became predictable. You became safe. And a horse that feels safe with you doesn't just tolerate your company. It looks for you. Here is something that should fundamentally change how you think about every interaction you have with your horse. Your horse remembers, not in the way we remember, not as narrative, not as story, but in the most functionally important way possible. Horses store emotional memories with extraordinary fidelity. Research has shown that horses can recognize and respond positively to specific individuals they have not seen for more than 6 months. They remember the quality of past interactions, the emotional signature of a person, whether being around a specific human felt safe and calm or unpredictable and tense. This is why horses that have experienced difficult handling carry that history in their bodies, the tension, the guardedness, the initial reluctance. And this is equally why, when a horse nickers softly the moment it hears your footsteps outside the barn, before you have even come into view, it is doing something remarkable. It is expressing a memory of you. It has stored the record of everything you have been to it. Every calm morning, every patient session, every time you asked and then listened. When your horse chooses you, it is choosing the accumulated record of who you have been. Every single time you were there for it, you were writing something into that record. It has been reading you back ever since. So how do you know when your horse has truly chosen you? Not because it has no choice, not because you are the one with the food, but genuinely and voluntarily chosen you. The signs are specific, and once you know what to look for, you will see them clearly. A voluntary approach with no food present. The horse covers the distance because it wants to, not because it expects a treat. A soft eye, the muscles around the eye smooth, the lids slightly drooped, the gaze calm and unfocused. This is the eye of a horse whose nervous system is at rest. A lowered head, the neck releases, the top line softens. In horse body language, this is one of the clearest signals of trust and absence of threat. A soft nicker when it sees you. The intimate greeting reserved for preferred individuals, distinct from the food-related whinny. Following without being led. Stopping when you stop. Standing close when you stand still. And the most profound signal of all, dozing in your presence. A horse that allows itself to enter the vulnerability of sleep while you are there has told you everything there is to know about how safe you make it feel. These are not performances. They are not accidents. They are your horse reading its own record of you and deciding, again, that you are the one it wants to be near. So how do you become the person your horse chooses? The answer is simpler and harder than most people expect. Arrive with calm energy. Not perform calm, real calm. The kind that comes from genuinely enjoying being in the horse's presence rather than using the time to work through your own stress. Spend time with no agenda. Sit in the paddock. Watch. Be present without demand. This kind of time is not wasted. It is precisely how horses learn that you're safe to be around. Learn to read their signals. The ear positions, the eye tension, the weight shifts, and tail movements. When you begin responding to what they are telling you rather than only asking things of them, the relationship changes fundamentally. Be consistent, the same energy, the same approach, the same respect for their signals. Predictability is the foundation of horse trust. And listen more than you ask. The ratio of listening to asking is one of the clearest measures of the relationship. When you do these things consistently, not perfectly, but consistently, something shifts. The horse begins to look for you when you arrive. It begins to choose proximity when you offer freedom. It begins to tell you, in the only language it has, that you are its chosen one. And that is not something you can buy or force. It has to be earned. One consistent, honest interaction at a time. When your horse walks across the field to you, with nothing in your hands, no reason it has to come, that moment is not small. It is the result of everything. It is the result of every time you arrived with calm energy rather than the stress of the day. Every time you sat in the paddock with no agenda and let the relationship breathe. Every time you listened to what it was telling you and responded rather than just asking. Every consistent, honest, patient interaction stored in the extraordinary memory of an animal that never forgets. The horse that chooses you has assessed you with sensory capabilities you cannot fully comprehend, through an emotional intelligence that rivals anything in the animal kingdom, using a memory that holds every interaction you have ever had. And it decided, you, out of everything in its world, the grass, the other horses, the freedom of the open field, it decided that being near you is where it wants to be. That is not loyalty born of dependency. That is a choice made by a free, intelligent, feeling being. Honor it accordingly. If this video made you want to go be with your horse right now, go. They are probably already watching for you. Subscribe to Dr. Buddy for weekly, science-backed videos about what your animals are really trying to tell you.